make millions and become a crime lord boss? Let's get into it. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video I'll be discussing how to make millions during the upcoming event, the crime wave event, which should be during early May, and you can make an absolute ton of gold, even millions potentially, using these secret tips and guides I've got for you. It's quite a long guide, so I'm going to leave timestamps in the description below on everything that you need. So this is going to be able to make you huge amounts of gold, potentially, with what they wrote in the description that I've found here. So I'm going to show you the detailed breakdown of everything, what you need to do, how you can do it as quickly as possible, and the best spots and locations, and so you can get the ill-gotten pouches and potentially make huge amounts of gold. So let's get into it. So first things first is that you can obtain the ill-gotten pouches through pickpocketing, stealing from safe boxes, and looting thieves' troves. So that is the first bit of information that we need to know, is that pickpocketing and stealing from safe boxes is going to be your go-to for getting these special pouches. So looting thieves' troves is probably not very effective, so you want to be focusing on the pickpocketing and the stealing from the safe boxes, as this is going to be your best bet to maximize your gold chances of getting potential really good drops as well. So I'm going to show you also what they have put regarding more information on the ill-gotten pouches and how to maximize your chances of getting the ill-gotten pouches. So it says here you've almost got no chance of getting the ill-gotten pouches if you don't have a bounty. So the bigger the bounty, the more chance of getting ill-gotten pouches. So I've got some locations for you guys where you can rack up a bounty very quickly and very easily. And the best way to do that is by mass killing NPCs. Is the absolute fastest way. I would recommend to do this on a PvP character, not a PvE character, as you ain't going to be getting rid of this bounty anytime soon. So I typically use a PvP character where the bounty has no effect. So I wouldn't recommend you doing your main character. Use an alt account, alt character, and the bounty will have no effect because it might take months, potentially even years, to get rid of, depending on how high you racked up a bounty. I've racked it up into the millions, 10, 20 million before, so it takes a very long time to get rid of. So don't use it on your main character, just use an alt character, and then you'll have absolutely no worries at all. So the next bit here is this where we're going to be making the huge amounts of gold. It says that from the ill-gotten pouches, any furnishing can actually drop from theft. So this is a little bit ambiguous, so we're not sure if that means completely any furnishing can drop, but if this means Eleanor table runners and Velofi paintings and tapestries, then we're in for a huge amount of gold. So I'm going to show you all the locations and where you can get these as well, guys, and maximize your chances, because it says any furnishing. So if any furnishing, that could be also mean the ones that go for huge amounts of gold in the millions. So it's going to be absolutely crazy, guys, if they do drop. It does say any furnishing, so I'm assuming it's going to include the super rare ones, even the shivering cheese. There's some really good furnishings you can obtain through stealing. So if these ill-gotten pouches are dropping them, you're going to make huge amounts of gold. So I'm going to show you the first place to obtain a huge bounty, which is the Atura Estate in Stormhaven. It's quest locked, so you have to do a quest first to get here, but once you've got access, there's potentially around 50 nobles here, so you can rack up a huge bounty, and you can also go crazy with the pickpocketing here. Just be careful as well, as there are guards here, so you don't want to go too crazy. I will show you the location to stand as well, so you won't get hit by a guard. So this is where we are in the Atura Estate, and these are all nobles. 98% of them are nobles. So if you stand in this location here, you won't really get hit by any guards. There is a guard to the left that comes up from the hill, and also there's one up there on the platform. Other than that, you're totally fine. So just be careful and be aware, because it's very hard to get away from the guards as you are locked in this sort of instant based wall. So just be very careful, guys, and you can just go around either pickpocketing, but if you just want to get the bounty, just mass kill them as quickly as possible, and they respawn every 5 minutes. There's about 50 here, so you can just run around and just killing, pickpocketing. But like I said, if you just want to get the bounty first, and just rack up the bounty as quickly as possible. Just mass kill them. I normally pickpocket all of them, and then once they're all pretty much empty, I will then just put them all together and then just sort of like Dawnbreaker and just kill all of them all together. And that's going to give you a huge bounty. They don't drop anything particularly great, these ones. There is a couple of Breton Thrones gold that you might get, but they're not worth that much. This is purely coming here just to make money through the laundering process, which is double as well. But this is more importantly just for getting that bounty as high as possible, and also a great place for pickpocketing and getting the ill-gotten loot bags as well. So this is a really great spot. But I have other great spots for you as well if you don't want to do this one, because like I said, it does have some risk, as there are some guards, not that many, but this is where you can just stand, is about here, and you won't be attacked by any guards. Like I said, you can't really fully escape because you're locked in this sort of area, so you have to sort of cloak away and not get caught. So I'm just hoovering up the last ones, the ones I normally hit. Like I said, they're virtually all nobles as well, so the loot is pretty good. There's a couple of ones that are not nobles, but they're mostly nobles. And we'll be moving on to the next one soon, guys. So if you stand here, you'll be totally fine. Like I said, there's a couple of guards about, but there is more NPCs, but they're the ones that the easiest to hit without keep getting attacked by a guard. So just stand here and wait for them to respawn, and then you're good to go. And then obviously just exit the door when you're finished. So now we're going to go to the next zone. This zone is in Auridion. I'll show you the location here as well, guys. There's tons of soldiers you can attack. Again, there's no guards here, so this one is, you can't make any mistakes unless you get killed by the soldiers, but a lot of them don't even move either. So you can just come here and just mass kill them. Again, you can pickpocket them or just mass kill them if you just want to get the bounty as high as possible. If you pickpocket them, then might get a chance of getting the ill-gotten pouches. And so just follow what I'm doing here, guys, and you can just hoover them all up. There's quite a lot here as well. They're a bit more spread out, but like I said, there's no guards at all. Very easy to kill all of them. There's plenty here, probably again around about 50 or 60 NPCs. So just go around attacking them and then just killing them, and then you're going to get a very large bounty very quickly. Like I said, in this one, even though they're more spread out, is potentially more safe. Like I said, there's huge amounts of NPCs all here that you can attack all of them, and then you can just mass kill them, and the bounty is going to go up very high. Like I said, you want a very high bounty, because the higher the bounty, the more chance of getting the ill-gotten pouches, which can potentially have super rare and expensive furnishings. So just hoover them all up. I said again, they respawn every 5 minutes once you finish killing them all. There's tons to work with, and just have an AoE just to try and kill them as quickly as possible. And then we're going to get into the next location as well, guys. I'm just showing you all the NPC spawns here. Like I said, there's no guards or anything, so you've got no worries at all. Just mass kill them. Like I said, we're doing this, guys, just to get the bounty as high as possible, but also a great pickpocketing location as well. As I said, a lot of them don't even move, so they don't sort of trigger as much as some of the other areas might do. We're just finishing off grabbing the last of them. So they're quite spread out, and some of them don't move, which is a little bit annoying. But again, it's still a great place to kill some NPCs, as there is a huge amount and no guards of any description. And they're all just soldiers, so just kill them. They're pretty low value. They're not as high value as the nobles in the previous one, so the loot might not be as great, but still nonetheless a really great spawn. Just come back here, and then they will respawn after 5 minutes, and you can just keep rinsing and repeating, and your bounty will get very high very quickly. So the next location I have for you is in Stonefalls. There's actually two locations. The first one is here, which is near the main city, and you can just kill, again, a ton of NPCs. There's not as many, but it's a really easy location to get to because it's base game. The previous ones are all base game as well, If you just want somewhere else or somewhere different, or there's somewhere else, someone like mass killing, and you just need a new spot, then you can come here. They're very highly concentrated. There's probably about 30 or 40. There's not as many, but there's no guards. So you can come here and again, just mass kill or pickpocket all the NPCs that are here. There's plenty to get. Maybe not as many as the previous two, but still nonetheless, it's a great spot. As you can see, there's a huge amount of NPCs. And you can just mass kill them. They're sort of low NPCs, they're not nobles or anything, they're sort of lower class NPCs, but you can just run around and just kill these ones. And there's plenty to pick from, and I said there's no guards to bother you, so you can just mass kill them or pickpocket them to your heart's content. And we're going to get on to the next area as well, guys, the final area for mass killing. Just hoovering them up quickly, just to show you how many there is. It's quite a decent number, but as I said, it might not be as strong as the previous two, but it's more highly concentrated, it's less running around. So that was the main bulk there, and there's just a pocket of other NPCs that are close by as well. Again, try and have AoEs, so you can mass kill these as quickly as possible, but they do have a respawn time of around 5 minutes anyway, so you don't have to go super crazy. And then just hoover up all the loot, and said you're going to get a huge bounty very, very quickly. So we're just hoovering up the ones around the edges. There's just a few here, and there's a few in the tent, and that is the final ones. It's quite a decent number, maybe slightly not as good as the previous one. And next I'll be showing you the best location, so stick with me guys. I'll show you the best location for mass killing NPCs, the huge, biggest amount of NPCs actually in the game. So that one is finished there. So this location again is in Stonefalls. I will put the location here. This has the highest number of NPCs you can physically kill, and there's also no guards. The only downside is it's a bit of running around. There's potentially probably about 80 plus, I would say, a huge amount of NPCs. This is going to get your bounty super, super high very, very quickly. Again, you can pickpocket and kill, or you can just mass farm just to get that bounty up as high as possible. Once you've got the really high bounty, then I would start pickpocketing to get the ill-gotten pouches. So it's a really, really great spot, guys. Probably the best in the game. There was a really great spot in Reaper's March, the caravan, but that was nerfed. There's not as many NPCs there now, so this is probably the best spot in the game. So there's no guards. You can't get bothered by any guards of any description, so there's no risk. Just make sure you have a heal on, possibly. As I said, there is a lot of NPCs that will hit you. Just make sure you have AoEs just to kill them. And I'll just show you all the NPCs here, guys, where they all are. It's nice and easy as well. Like I said, there's a huge amount of NPCs to hit, so that's the first pocket of NPCs there. Sometimes you miss the odd one as well, so make sure you have the nameplate on as well, is also handy so you can spot them quicker. Then just go around just killing them as quickly as possible. So that was the main pocket of NPCs. There's another little pocket here of NPCs to kill. So if you just want to get the bounty as high as possible, just kill them rather than pickpocket. Once you've got a high bounty, as you can see I've got, but I said you can easily get into the millions within a few days doing this. So you'll be all ready for the crime wave event. This is the next pocket of NPCs. Then just tag them all. A bow is also very helpful as well, just something ranged, just so you can tag them as quickly as possible. And again, just put them into a bunch, Dawn and Breaker them down, or an AoE. Get that huge bounty as quickly as possible. So that's the second big pocket of NPCs, and there is a final one or two pockets of NPCs as well. So there's a huge amount. So the only downside to this one is it's just a lot of running around. So you can pick from these 4 locations that I've gave you. They're probably the best in the game. This is the next pocket of NPCs here. So I said we want to get the bounty as high as possible, guys. So we got the highest chance of getting the ill-gotten pouches. from pickpocketing or safe boxes. You can also get them from the thieves troves, but I said I wouldn't recommend that. So stick with me, guys, and I'll also show you a couple of great spots as well where you can farm the safe boxes. So this is the best 4 locations for probably pickpocketing and mass killing. I don't think you're going to get the ill-gotten pouches from mass killing, so you will need to pickpocket. This is purely just to get the bounty up as quickly and high as possible. So that was the final pocket of NPCs. And then you just run back up to the top and wait for them to respawn. Sometimes a couple of them might have already respawned, and you can just rinse and repeat. So now we're going to get into the 2 best locations in the game for stealing the super rare and expensive items that are very hard to get. The first one is Vvardenfell, so you can hit all the lock boxes. I've got a link in the description below on where all the safe boxes are. You can get the shivering cheese, which can drop from any safe box in the entire game, but it's more particularly the Velofi tapestries and paintings. So if you hit all these safe boxes, you've also got a chance of getting them to drop, and on top of it, getting the ill-gotten pouches during the crime wave event. So this is probably one of the best locations to come here. Also, you can get the motives as well. They're not as valuable, but they're still worth some gold. But you really want to be focusing on the safe boxes for the paintings and the tapestries. And on top of it, like I said, you're going to get the ill-gotten pouches. So make sure you come here, guys. This is one of the best locations in the game for stealing and getting super rare items. If the ill-gotten pouches do drop them, then that is going to be really, really great, guys. And the final location is the Alinor. So you want to focus on the clothiers and the nobles, as they can drop again super rare items, which is the table runners, which can go for crazy amounts of gold, and also the nobles can drop the mirrors, which can go for huge amounts of gold, and on top of it you'll get the ill-gotten pouches. I'll also drop a link as well to all the route as well for this, guys. So there we have it, guys, my detailed guide. Like I said, I'll have all the links in the description below. I said just jump through whatever sections you need. But so step 1 is get a bounty as high as possible using the locations I've mentioned. Then start focusing on pickpocketing and safe boxes. Hopefully like I said, the ill-gotten pouches do drop them really rare items. So you can just go to these locations and hopefully get them. If not, then use them 2 locations, which are in Vvardenfell and Summerset, to pickpocket and use the safe boxes to hopefully acquire them super rare items, guys. You can potentially make huge amounts of gold. So hopefully this guide was helpful. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Like the video. Any comments if you're unsure, because it's a big old guide that I've made, just drop it in the comment section below and I'll get back to you. And yeah, I'll see you during the crime wave event, and we're going to make some huge amounts of gold, guys. Like I said, if the ill-gotten pouches don't drop them crazy rare things, and just go to them locations and get double bubble.